Certainly not the way I thought today would go. I certainly did not expect to start off the day with 3 breakers. Rather frustrating. Watched Zena Kemp, and a number of people email me after the race and message me. At the end of the day, Zena's learning how to race, but she's putting herself in harm's way sometimes, right? They're going a half in 55 seconds in front of her, and she runs up on the horse in front of her. There was another horse moving, and normally, especially the way we train, that wouldn't be a problem. So I don't really understand why Zena Kemp rolled off the way she did. I think realistically, especially since they race for 6,600 and they're going to go race like that, what we may do is just bring her back here, reassess her, maybe even race her in a maiden at the Meadows, which they're not going to go in 55, and decide what we're going to do after that. This is all step-by-step stuff. If the break today has forced our hands, are we going to pivot? Are we not going to pivot? I think it makes all the sense in the world to maybe at least entertain the idea. So you may see Zena Kemp coming back to Northfield and then going over to Tim's, where she started her racing career actually in qualifiers, and racing in a maiden over there. That's the plan with Zena right now. As I get more information and the timing and everything that's going on, who's to say that the maiden, Fillies and Mares maiden, even fills at Northfield or at the Meadows next week? We don't know that. So there's a lot of stuff that has to go on between now and her next prospective start before we, draw a line in the sand and say, this is what we're doing, this is our plan, pour the cement, let's get it going. It's getting a little dark here. And then coming into Delaware, ended our night with a win with Winter Soldier. Diosa was flat last night. Dio was flat last night, but both of those were explainable. Coming into Delaware, I'm thinking we got the rail, not really where I want to be with Jolene Hall, but she's been pretty sure-footed that way. The outside with Judy's Money, we'll see how she is today also, but I'm fairly optimistic. My only concern is where are we going to get them spotted? I want to get them both away close as I can, but I don't want to tip either of them over, and in fact, I tipped both of them over. Halfway down the lane, Jolene is just starting to catch back up into position. I look right as everybody's looking left to see what's going to happen. I'm thinking, if I just stay at this speed, I'll probably push through going into the turn, end up on the front, or be in a position where I remove her. If I don't get away close enough, I get away third or fourth, maybe I just sit and end up first over or second over with her. It never dawns on me for a second she's going to make a break until she did. Now I have to go back and watch the replay. Knowing her the way I do, did she reach up and touch her knee and just kind of lose herself for a second? It's possible. But I guess if I'm going to be completely honest and blunt, it doesn't matter. It's over. She made a break. Judy's Money, a little more explainable. She's in the 8-hole up against the fence, and they have all these tents and people against the fence and chairs attached to and hanging off the fence. She's just looking at them. Now, I have a Murphy blind on her, but she's looking at everything going up, and she would not start and trap by it. I've never seen her shy away from stuff or act like that. We had that happen one other year with globetrotting at Scioto. Stuff against the fence. There was an ambulance and people hanging over the fence, and she just shied away, whereas Judy was just kind of hesitant. And once I got her rolling afterwards, she was fine. Both of them were fine. Well, the race is over. What's it matter if they're fine then? So not the way I would think of starting the day. And those were our best shots. Judy's Money, Zena Kemp, Jolene Hall. All three of them could have easily won today. And instead, all three of them run. So not the way I want to start a day. It's about 7,000 degrees in Delaware. So I'm somewhere in between depression, boredom, exhaustion, and heat stroke. In Delaware, I got to wait for each race, wait for each race. Now the 10th is over. Stacy asked me to drive her horse. And again, I've made 2 breaks now. I'm gun shy. Had I just wheeled that filly of hers out second over and let her rock down the backstretch, I'm probably first or second. Instead, I end up fourth. I told you guys we changed the training in Aunt Lily a little bit and Freedom Hill this week. I expected them both to be better, but I don't know how good. We come out of the last turn. There was nobody on earth cheering louder for Aunt Lily than me. I thought she might lumber past them. Probably the best race she's gone in a little while. Strong finishing up a mile 56 and 2. Now, Delaware's a fast track, but still a good mile by her, I think. And then Freedom Hill, expectations are pretty tempered. I put the 4-horse kind of in a bad spot. When I filled the hole in the first turn, he makes a break. The 5 continues under the front. I know that Justin's horse, now I didn't expect 55 and 1, but I knew that his horse was probably the best horse in the race. Left, trotting. He looped over to the front. Chris was second. Thought I'd get up for third just for a second, but I give it a second look and I hear the announcer call Mike Wilder for third. I'm like, whatever. They raced good. Watch Greatest Ending go. And here's the thing I want everybody to understand, and Harry also. Greatest Ending is racing too hard to race for 6,800 Canadian dollars. He's racing too hard to be racing for that small amount. And that's it. It's not... I actually think he is racing well, just not for enough money. And that's a big reason why him and JK Victory are coming south of the border. We're going to start sending some other horses home. I drew 6 sets of Coggins this week. We'll start moving those horses home soon enough. And then Memento Mori, I was a little frustrated. I know he was going to be short. I know he wasn't, he was trained up and schooled up. They scope him after. He shows a couple of spots of blood and some mucus. But as I said to Dominic, and I know there's nothing Dominic can do. James told me he schooled him in 2-3 the other day. This is where James and I take different paths. James thinks a mile in 2-3 for a horse like Memento Mori is good enough. I would have opted for a mile in 55 and then tell me how he feels. Because if he feels like he's ready to go, great. If he doesn't feel like he's not ready to go right this second, then just wait another week. We've waited this long. Why not wait another week? But because we go a mile in 2-3 and he passes some horses down the lane, you're like, oh, feels like he's ready to go. Now, I'm not saying his way's wrong and my way's right. I don't care, but that is not how I would have specifically done it. So you can say he was short tonight. You can say, oh, it was the mucus, it was the blood, whatever. It was a flat performance, and I don't want to see it again. So today is Monday. I want him schooled the next time he goes. If he isn't ready to trot in 54 at Mohawk, then he'll never race at Mohawk again. Just do what I asked you to begin with, which they are doing. Put the weight on him. I sent him over there. First and foremost, go easy with him. Put some weight on him. Turn him back into a horse. Send him back. He's not good at Mohawk. Fine. I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal. There's lots of racing. Ohio, Dayton, Yonkers. There's 3 right there. Dover, if we want to go down that path. We haven't been down there in about 5 years. We can do whatever we want with him. But he has to be in where he can win. Wanting to win isn't going to cut it. Or he would be undefeated this year. Now, wouldn't he? So I'll call it a combination of being a little bit short because he hasn't raced in quite a while. And the mucus and a couple of specks of blood that are easily explainable from the mucus, I would imagine. And that, in a nutshell, is Memento Mori right now. So that's that. So we have some stuff to work on. Where are we racing Cena Kemp next? I will entertain the idea. It wasn't my idea to initially. It was Jim, one of our partners, Jim, actually the major owner in Cena, and said, what about the Meadows? They race for more money. You guys can look at them. You can go there. You can tell me what you think. Which is fair, because I can tell you if she should be going to Corbin if I drive her in the Meadows. So it's a fair request. That's likely what we'll do her next start. Jolene Hall, it's unfortunate. I just saw that Greg's our stat. I'm sure as soon as the races were finishing, Greg Schoner was writing down the points and where they're sitting and what they're doing. I have no idea where Jolene's going to fit. She will likely go to Corbin also. I can't really tell you why she made a break today. She warmed up good. She scored down great. She felt perfect behind the gate. I'm looking right just to gauge where I'm going to get away, and if I really have to push, because if people think I'm leaving and they're looking left, I'm one of the favorites. Dan Noble's leaving from the 2. He's one of the favorites. 3 through 7 and 8 are less likely to blast out of there. Now all I have to do is hold position, either let Dan go or push through and cut the race. It's pretty simple at that point. I just didn't get that opportunity. She caught me off guard. I did not see that coming. Judy's money. I wish we'd have flip-flopped. Actually, I wish Jolene Hall had the 8 hole and Judy's money hit the rail. If I'm going to be completely truthful. So Judy's money makes the final. We'll make sure she's on her toes and ready to go for the final in wherever it is. But Judy's a tough filly. She'll bounce back and don't bounce back. She bounced back and making a break. It's not the end of the world. Aunt Lily raced good. Let's build from that. Now, the big takeaway from today was both those fillies raced well, finished well. So let's take a snapshot of exactly what took place this week and rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. No stone unturned with those 2 fillies. If we do it right and we are super aggressive with both these fillies in regards to training, treating, and everything, I believe the way we set forth training them this week clearly worked. Let's keep it going. And that's the message for both, with respect to both of those fillies. Greatest ending, as I said, I just think it's unfair that he doesn't get to race for enough money in Canada in those classes. He couldn't race for less money. In fact, he's guaranteed to race for more money, no matter where he races. Northfield, Meadows, Dayton, whatever. And then Maury, as I said, I'm not angry, but I want to know the horse is going to be ready to go, able to go, and can do it Mohawk. If we can't, fine. I was hoping we could put weight on him and race him at Mohawk. If we can't, at least start with the first one, put the weight on him, tell me when he's gained 150 pounds, maybe bring him over to Flamborough and race him once. But once we get to that goal of putting that weight on him, I'm going to bring him back to the U.S. Where he races, I don't know yet, with the entire goal of keep the weight on him, race him competitively. I mean, he's a 3-year-old. He's only got 3 wins. I mean, if he can do in the non-winners a 6 up to non-winners a 10, even the condition claimer, you're looking at 60, 70,000 US as a tag on Maury. As much as that's hard to believe I just said that, it's more than fair with all things considered. So a long chat about today. My sincere apologies to everybody too. I never sent a list out to anybody about what the buckets look like. Hold on. Hold. This is a lot of people asking me this question, and it is my fault that this did not get done. My fault and no one else's. I took a snapshot of it. If you're reading this, no, right here maybe. No, why is it not showing that? There it is. No, it's not. I don't know. I'll send the buckets out. Wendy will have them sent out tonight. Wait, no, I emailed somebody about them. Sent. Found them. The Trotting Fillies bucket. All of the buckets, I came in under budget. I felt I did the best job I could. I felt I was not overpaying. And if it meant we come in a little under, fine. I'm not going to stuff another horse in there just because. I think we had a great lineup, and this is exactly how I wanted to look. So the Trotting Fillies are Sweet and Steady and Perfect Instead. Those are 2 really, really nice fillies. Both of those fillies were picks of mine. Number 54, Sweet Instead. I have videos today too. I'm going to send those out tonight too. Amy had taken some videos. I took some videos also of some of the horses jogging today. We did break them. We did go with them today. And I'll start sending those out little by little. Sweet and Steady. Perfect Instead I loved at 22,000. I'd marked a lot higher. And Sweet and Steady was not only one of my top picks. This is What a Mission's Sister by Volstead, but the top pick for David's AI program in the entire sale on the trotting filly side. So that's who's going in the 2 trotting fillies bucket. The main bucket, Bella Dale and Down by the Cowboy. I put the 2 pacers in there. Those are the 2 Down by the Seasides. It made all the sense in the world to me to do that. I had no reason not to. So both of those horses have found their way into the main bucket. The Flyer A bucket, Spring Ice, that is I'm Fancy Light's brother, the big beautiful roan horse. He's in the main, the Flyer bucket A, and then so is Barcelona Mickey, the Monty Mickey pacing colt we got, and Rose Run Chief is also in there. Flyer bucket B. I love this bucket too. What a Houdini, who I went with today. Very, very nice colt. Popular Expert, I went with today. I liked him also. And What's the Mystery? I did not go with this filly today, but again, beautiful looking filly. I believe she a Holstein, or what the hell? I'm not sure. Anyway, those are the buckets as of right now. Wendy is going to list them tomorrow. He's going to list the shares that are available in all the horses. Now, I think for sure 2 or 3 of them are sold out. A lot of them are approaching fully subscribed, and there's a lot of horses with some shares left. And you know, to be honest, this is fine. I said that's okay for this sale. As we head to Lexington, I'm going to switch gears when I can. Hopefully on Thursday or Friday, I'm going to switch gears with you, and we're really going to start drilling down on Lexington. If you're out there and you're saying, you know, I'm going to hold back, I'm going to go to Lexington, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, there's no problem with that. But I will ask you, speak up if you want to go to Lexington, because the voices I hear, the people I get messages from and phone calls and texts, and I'm able to subscribe those buckets for Lexington. It allows me to do my job properly, the best I can, without having clouds hanging over my head as I'm trying to bid on horses. So that will be the plan for Lexington. That will be my continual tune to you as we approach Lexington. I hope everybody understands how important this is. Here's somebody else asking for the buckets. Mr. Tussey, I'm really sorry about this. Again, this is on me. It's my fault. I did not explain this well enough. Hopefully that clears everything up with respect to the buckets, who's in them, and when they will be released. I will be, as I said, switching gears quite quickly this week and focusing primarily on Lexington as we head into this weekend. So, listen, guys, it wasn't the greatest day, right? Any day, I think we're going to have a few winners, if not more, and all 3 of them break. You're not going to get happy, Anthony. It's just not going to happen. I am a little miffed, but there's nothing I can do about that. Aunt Lily did race better and did race good. Freedom Hill did race better and did race good. Greatest Ending did race good, and Memento Mori did not. So there you have it. Feel free to message me, call me, text me if you'd like a fair breakdown for today and an update on the buckets. As I said, those shares will be going up for sale tomorrow. Take care, everybody.